Hi, this is Dennis Gage. Thanks for tuning into My Classic Car, home of the certified car nut. Today we're in Talladega, Alabama for the 30th anniversary Aero Warriors Reunion. What's an Aero Warrior, you ask? Well, they're cars like the Dodge Daytona or the Mercury Cyclone Spoiler 2. Cars that Chrysler and Ford developed to do battle on the NASCAR superspeedways during the late 60s. So it's only fitting that we're here at the Talladega Speedway, the battlefield for these Warriors back in 1969. And joining me now is Tim Wellborn, one of the organizers of the Aero Warriors Reunion.
Hi Dennis, how are you today? Glad to have you.
Oh, I'm up to my knees in wing cars here.
Yeah, that's right. We have quite a few here today.
I've never seen this many in one group. I didn't even know they made this many.
Well, they actually made about 2,000 of these things, but it's probably the largest gathering of them since they came off the assembly line in 1970.
Well, we're here today at the Hall of Fame Museum. You're actually associated with the museum.
That's right. I'm on the board of directors here at the International Motorsports Hall of Fame, and we have a very dedicated group to doing things like this, and it's just sort of a passion of mine because I do like the old wing cars or the aero cars and Fords also.
Well, it's the perfect place to do it. I mean, my goodness, right. Bring them back home, right?
Bring them back here to Talladega. In fact, on Sunday, we'll go out on the Speedway, you know, like they did 30 years ago. You'll have the Fords and the Dodges and the Plymouths just like it was in 1969-70.
That's what I'm dying to see. And you got them from all over here.
That's right. We had cars come in here from California, Washington State, 3,000 miles, several of them drove. Now they got to go back, you know, but we hope that we have so much fun that they will think they had a trip worthwhile.
Well, and because this is sort of a small fraternity here, you don't do this just every day.
No, we do not. We do it once every 5 years.
And this is the third one?
This is the third one.
And the biggest so far?
By far the biggest.
With a total of?
About 155 cars all total.
I mean, that's a lot of cars, and the sea of wild colors, which of course the Mopar cars were noted for back then.
They very much were. They had the wildest colors. They were called the cartoon cars, in fact, you know, with the Superbird on the wings and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's right. That's right. They were a lot of fun to look at.
Well, hey, this is just a great event, and what a place to have it. I can't wait to see them going around that track. It's going to be wonderful.
We can't wait to get on it either. It's going to be fun for all the drivers of the cars.
The Talladega Superspeedway was the original battleground of the Aero Warriors. Mopar's winged cars were a direct response to the racing success of the Ford Talladega and the Mercury Cyclone Spoiler 2, the first truly aerodynamic stock cars. Out of desperation, Mopar designers scrambled to the wind tunnels to test their bold new designs. What emerged was the Dodge Charger Daytona and the Plymouth Superbird. Greg, a beautifully restored 69 Dodge Charger Daytona.
Thank you.
I love it. Bit of a star-studded history too, right?
Yes, in 1969, Raquel Welch ordered this car originally, and I'm the fourth owner now, and the second owner is here today, and he's been trying to talk me out of the car.
Buy it back.
He wants it back badly, yes.
Well, now you've restored it to the original color and everything, but it's been just about everything, hasn't it?
Right, it's had a black vinyl top, a white wing. It's been blue and white. It's been gold and red, Bobby Allison look-alike. It's been blue. It's had lots of lives. It's got 224,000 miles on it, and it was driven here.
Well, and it wasn't just driven here from down the street either.
No, we're kind of the other side of the United States, 50 miles south of Canada, Mount Vernon, Washington. It's about 3,400 miles one way.
This was the original wing car. This thing was a landmark car in '69, and this thing is solid too. This is
aircraft aluminum. And I've had a show in Sacramento, California. One year I had my wife and two of her sisters sitting on the wing, and we took pictures, put them on the internet, and had three ladies. We called them the Wing Gals.
Well, I love that it was driven here, and you're going to drive it home too, right?
Yes.
Man, I'd love to ride with you.
You sure can.
So you having a good time at the Aero Warriors?
Excellent. This is the first time I've been here, and I plan on coming back. You'll never see so much muscle in one place.
Man, well, I might just cruise back with you. We'll just have to talk about that.
Thank you much.
Thanks a lot, Greg. Well, Ken, I guess this is what I call a rare bird. This is a 70 full race Superbird, right?
I would agree with that.
And campaigned by who? Ramo Stott?
Ramo Stott, up north in USAC primarily, although he visited NASCAR on 3 occasions and finished 8th each time, Daytona and Talladega.
But this was the first Superbird to win a race.
Right, ARCA 300 in February of 1970, Ramo won, and first Superbird to be in winner's circle after Chrysler put him on the tracks.
Man, well, I love it. I mean, the interior, so this would have been what Ramo sat in, right? Roll cage and everything?
Just what it looked like when Ramo drove it.
And so this was pumping out, a full race Hemi would pump out about
600 horse, something like that. 600
horse. I see you even got Ramo's autograph on there.
Right, Ray Nichols and Tom Hoover and a few other folks.
Well, Tom Hoover, father of the Hemi.
Right, exactly.
Man, and this thing, this is so cool. It's like one of two left in existence, right?
That's right. I think they made about 25 from what I can tell. This is just one of two that still exist today.
So we can like take this, cruise down the road and get a soda at the driving.
Let's do it.
All right, man.
Great. Thanks.
Cool. The Mopar winged cars were built for one reason: to dominate stock car racing. And that they did, winning approximately 45% of NASCAR races they participated in. The reign ended after only 2 seasons when major sanctioning rules banned the wing cars from competition. Now, the casual observer may think these wings are purely cosmetic, but au contraire. The wings are built out of aircraft aluminum, bolted to the frame, and can hold the weight of a couple people. Also, the wing is adjustable so the pit crew can dial in the perfect downforce. There are a few clubs devoted to the preservation of the Aero Warriors. One such club is the Daytona Superbird Auto Club located in Wisconsin. I had a chance to talk with Doug Schellinger, current president.
Well, we've got about 500 members and people all over the world. Most of them are in the States, but some in Canada and a few overseas in Europe.
How many of these cars are still on the road?
Well, for the Chrysler cars, well over half of them.
Really?
It's one
so
of those
about
things.
1,000?
Well over that, yes.
Oh.
Yes.
And how about for the Ford cars?
The Fords, I don't think quite so many. The thing with the wing cars is that you could always look at them, and anybody could look at that car and see, well, gee, there's something not quite right about that car, and or know that it was special.
Because there were fewer made of the Talladegas and Cyclone spoilers, these cars are even more rare than their winged counterparts. I chatted with Mark Moses, who organized the Ford and Mercury portion of the show. So Mark, you're the Ford guy here.
I'm the Ford guy here. I organize the Ford part of this, the contingency for the Mercurys and the Fords. I run a registry that we've been keeping track of these cars now for about 15 years, tracking the ownership and finding new cars that pop up here and there.
How many of them are left around?
We've located about 160 of the Talladegas and about 100 of the Mercury Cyclones
and that's
total.
out of about, what, 800,000 total of the two?
Yeah, about 1,100 total.
So, not that many survivors.
Not that many at all. A lot of them were used up early. That's a fact.
And how many of them are here today?
We have about 45 of them here today.
Well, now, Russ, this is your 69 Mercury Cyclone Spoiler 2, right? That you bought new off the showroom floor.
That's correct. Sure did.
How many miles ago?
268,000.
And how many teenagers ago?
3.
They must be good kids, or it wouldn't look like this.
I'm proud of them.
It's a pretty original car, right?
Yes, it's all original.
That is just amazing. Now, these things were the sister car to the Ford Talladega.
That's correct.
One of the differences was, though, it actually came with the spoiler,
Yes,
but it didn't come on the car, right?
No, it came in a box.
Part of the car, but the dealer had to put it on.
That's correct.
Now, this being red and white was the Cale Yarborough.
Special, right. And the blue and white was the Dan Gurney special.
But even those Cale Yarborough stickers came in the box.
That's true.
Well, they had to earn their keep back then, didn't they?
They sure did.
Now, this was also typical of the Merc Ford thing. The interior was a lot nicer in this.
Oh, yes. In the Ford version, it was flat. I mean, it was plain. And
but you're
Mercury,
pleated here?
they pleated it, right.
But still, only a automatic transmission, very basic instrumentation.
That's right.
But you got air in it.
Yes, I had that added on myself for the comfort.
Well, you do live in the South.
Oh, yeah.
But the other difference between the Talladega and the Spoiler 2 is that this came with stock 351 Windsor.
351 Windsor, that's correct.
So it was a little bit more economical out on the road.
Oh, yes.
But have you had a good time with it?
Oh, I've enjoyed it.
And you're still enjoying it, aren't you?
Oh, yes.
Well, I like the fact you got the Cale Yarborough special going in your outfit today, too.
Thank you.
Was that intentional? Or?
No, that was just by accident.
Well, you look great. Your car looks great. Thanks a lot, Russ. Tucked away in a quiet little San Jose neighborhood, in a garage just big enough to squeeze a muscle car in, we found a beautiful example of a 1967 427 Impala SS. Well, it's a chilly day in San Jose, but we're here with a really hot car, a 67 Chevy 427 Impala, and its lucky owner, Tom Marino. Tom, welcome to the show.
Dennis, thank you for having me.
This is a great car. It's a 4-speed car. They didn't make many of these.
No, Dennis, they only made 2,124 of these.
Wow, and I don't imagine there's many of them left.
No, I don't think that there are.
Now, what drove you to seek one of these out?
Well, a friend of mine in high school, his uncle had one, and occasionally he'd let us take it for a ride.
In high school, you were driving one of these?
and I fell in love with the car. Always wanted one.
Where'd you find it?
Actually, I found the car going through Hemmings, and I found it here in California, and we took a ride out and take a look at it.
Man, close to home. Now, this is a unique car. I've always loved the body style. It was 1 year only. And it was different. I mean, the 65s and 6s look kind of alike, 68s and 9 look kind of alike, but this was the only year with this swept look.
Yeah, Dennis, it does have the long body lines in it, and I really like that.
Yeah, and it's big.
It is a big car.
It's a big car. Now, how about the interior in a 427 Impala SS? What all do you have in there?
Well, Dennis, it came with a factory tachometer on the dash, the bucket seats, and the center console, of course, for the shifter.
But other than that, you know, I mean, it's really pretty much an Impala. I
It
mean,
is.
It didn't have a lot of detailing. There's some badging on the front fender, a little bit on the back deck there, but really what gave this baby away was that hood.
Yes, the hood is nice.
And it was only for the 427 SS, right?
That's correct.
So the 396 SS, which was available that year, didn't have this, had a stock hood or a...
That's right. It was just a factory flat.
Now,
hood.
I got to believe that one of these hoods, they're probably getting hard to find.
Very hard to find. I've seen them for as much as $1,500 when you can find one.
Yeah, wow. Whew, car's gone, but the hood's still there.
Yeah.
Well, let's look under this unique
Okay.
hood. At that big, bad 427 turbojet 385 horse. Man, what a monster.
Yes, it is a big block, Dennis.
Now, what's different between this 427 and the one in the Vet?
The one on the Vet has the Holley carburetor, which I believe gives it a little bit more horsepower.
Squeezed out another 5 horse?
Another 5
390?
horse out of it.
Now, you've done this all pretty stock looking. I mean, you've done it all stock, haven't you?
I've tried to keep it as original, as much original as possible.
And how much work did you have to do? It was painted, I guess, but...
It was painted. We went through and we detailed the engine compartment, the firewalls, repainted the block.
Man, but it's like back in time. Now, these were also notorious for neck snap and acceleration. What do you say we snap a couple necks?
Sounds good, Dennis.
All right.
Let's take it for a ride.
Ooh, sounds good.
Hang on to your hat there, Dennis.
You got it. So what are your plans? What else are you going to do to her?
I'd like to put the smog back on.
Uh-huh.
I'm
Well, you're lucky
seriously
you've
considering
got that
doing
equipment. That's probably some of the most valuable equipment off a car like this, because everybody just jerked it off.
Yeah, and got rid of it.
I always love the sound of these too. They're really a good sounding car. There wasn't a heck of a lot of badging on this that really showed it as a 427 though, was there?
No, there's not, and it's very unique as compared to a standard, a regular Impala. It's quite different.
Yeah, these were very strong cars. And it's a Paz traction car, right?
Yeah, it's got a posi. It's got a 331 gear ratio.
It had a heck of a trunk too, man. You could put several people in that trunk.
You could definitely get several people into the drive-in in that trunk.
Yeah, it was a drive-in movie car. Pretty cool, Tom. Nice car.
Thank you, Dennis.
I'd shake your hand. I don't think I can reach across there, though. This monster. This is beautiful. Now I want one. I think red, too. I think red's probably what I'd go with. What do you think?
Sounds good.